All right, let's let some people start rolling in here. All right, let's get this shared out everywhere. People start to slowly join as we get this out. There's not much better when you make yourself a good coffee. A bad coffee can like ruin your day. When you make yourself a good coffee, especially like on a Sunday, that gets that whole day started right. How we doing, guys? What's up? Let me pull some couple things up as we go through some of this. Thank you, you guys too. Happy Sunday, everybody. If you guys are here, hit that like button for me, please. Such an easy thing to do. Goes such a long way helping out. People starting to roll in a little bit. I'm going to get up this DraftKings and Fanduel pricing as well, so I at least have that in front of me. We can go through some of the prop bets. We can go through some of the plays, some questions. We can go through all of that. So as I'm starting to get this stuff up and ready, you guys fire away some questions if you have them. And I can answer them while I'm getting these pricing and stuff up and some of these bets up. And then, as always, since you guys are my eyes and my ears on Twitter while I'm live, if anything is anybody's inactive that shouldn't be inactive, any surprise inactives, feel free to throw them in the chat so that not only I know, but that everyone else knows. But mainly so I know. Herbert stack. Yeah, I like Herbert. I do like Herbert today. I'm also just going to keep playing Jalen Hurts because Jalen Hurts every week performs, especially now they've got that rushing and that rushing upsides there. I won't, no reason for me not to play Jalen Hurts. Yeah, I don't mind T.Y. today. I didn't quite get there because I was trying to limit the my player pool, I guess I should say. But yeah, I definitely don't mind T.Y. at all. He's the kind of guy that, especially now with healthy, and if the mic's not working, let me know. But hopefully, it says the mic's working, so it should be working. But T.Y. is that kind of guy that can have one of those, 5 for 70 games. He can also have a 3 for 90 and a touchdown. And since he's not priced how T.Y. used to be priced, you obviously don't need him to do what he used to do. But he still has that upside. He's got crazy upside, always has. So I definitely don't mind T.Y., especially in deeper tournaments for sure. Stafford, Odell. I kept going back and forth with this. So the reason I didn't play Stafford, I didn't play any Rams, is I couldn't really figure out who to play. And I think that there's a chance that some of those points get spread around different places. So if they do, the Packers defense is playing well. So if, let's say, if Stafford, I think he came out that he has some sort of a back injury or something. He's supposed to play, and I don't think it's going to limit him at all. But it is somewhat concerning. So I'm just not playing any of them and just kind of hoping that none of them go over 20 points, or if they do, that maybe it's Cooper Kupp just because he does every week. But yeah, I kind of stayed away from that game for the most part, except for A.J. Dillon. It's a weird game, especially Rodgers has that toe injury. Now Stafford has a back injury. There's just so much uncertainty in that game. And could there be plenty of points, and could it pop off, and could there be 3 or 4 guys in an optimal? 100%. But my strategy in DFS, especially in the NFL where injuries are more prevalent, is play what you know and use that kind of stuff. So like we said, the uncertainty with Rodgers' toe, the uncertainty with Stafford's back, the uncertainty with how much Odell is going to play, the uncertainty with how much Aaron Jones is going to play, even if he's going to be active, who knows? There's just too much uncertainty in that game where I think that it's very unlikely that there's a lot of chalk that goes off unless it is Aaron Jones is out and A.J. Dillon is somewhat chalky and he goes off. But that's the one guy that I am on. So I don't mind that. Who are my favorite running backs today? So if we pull up the player pool that I have, I mean, Christian McCaffrey is still top of the player pool list. He's just, especially with Cam back, his receiving upside's there. When he starts finding the end, I mean, he's got 25-point floors when he doesn't get hurt. Obviously, at 9K, you need more than that. But he's got that receiving upside, and then when he starts getting some touchdowns, he's obviously gonna be, those points obviously go up. Which is kind of why I keep being on T. Higgins. Is T. Higgins' stat? I think the stat was that he's been tackled inside the 2-yard line in 4 different games. So that's basically 4 games that he could have had touchdowns, and if he does, he's priced way differently. Just like McCaffrey, there's games he could have had 2 or 3 touchdowns and not scoring, only having 1. Obviously, that's why he's not $10,000. So McCaffrey is still my favorite running back on the slate today. I like Najee a lot. Najee's always got a good spot for that volume. James Robinson, speaking of volume, James Robinson gets the volume. James Robinson's the guy, assuming he doesn't bruise his heel again. I like James Robinson. And then I went with Javonte Williams. I don't know how much Javonte Williams I'll have in my 20 max. Probably 30% or so, maybe a little less. But I just think there's a chance this is the week that he goes off. I don't know. I just think there's going to be one week where he kind of steals that backfield from Melvin Gordon. It becomes his backfield, and I kind of have a feeling this is that week. So that's why I like Javonte today as well. I wish I knew the ownership on Dontrell Hilliard, because I keep going back and forth on that. If he's not going to be owned, I'd love to play him. If he's going to be, I don't know, 15% owned or whatever he might be, then I don't want to play him. But I think I'll just have 5-10% and just kind of see where that gets me. But that's kind of the thought there. All right, let's pull up a couple other of the books so we can get a couple prices on some of our props today. Let's go through some of these props. Receivers are kind of tough today. Not sure the best to spend up for. Yeah, I agree. I think you can always spend up for Devontae. There's never an issue spending up for Devontae. Devontae is always going to be Devontae. So there's never an issue spending up for him. Keenan Allen's probably my favorite receiver on the slate today. I love Keenan today. Since that bye week, Keenan's been awesome. Cooks is, I think he's 6K on DK. He's a good option. His usage is obviously always there. But yeah, Keenan's kind of the only guy I'm really spending up for. Jamar Chase, I didn't go Jamar Chase just because. So the touchdown equity's gone down, but his targets and his usage is still up and still kind of even going up. So I don't hate Jamar Chase. At 7,100, I just went with Higgins and Boyd and Uzama. Do I think Jamar Chase can go off? Absolutely, 100%. But when it comes down to it, if I'm going to get these lower owned guys cheaper, especially like I said, a guy like T. Higgins, where he's, like I said, I think the stat was he's been tackled inside the 2-yard line 4 different games. So if T. Higgins scores even 2 of those 4 games, those touchdowns, he's not a, 5,400, 5,500. He's a 6,500 receiver. So if I'm getting a $1,600 discount, I think Chase is 7,100. I'm getting a $1,600 discount on T. Higgins, plus the fact that Chase should probably be 15% owned and Higgins will be 10, maybe less. After last week, Higgins was chalk. Everyone played him, and he didn't do much. People are going to be off him. I like going right back to T. Higgins. Steelers get all defensive players back this week. Yeah, I saw Joe Hayden was out. I think Hayden's the only one that's still out. But obviously, T.J. Watt being back, that's the bread and butter of that defense. All right, let's go through a couple of these bets and these books prices and some player props. And you guys just keep asking questions along the way. If you have any. Any Mixon love today? I never played Joe Mixon. I know it bites me, and I know it should. It's because Mixon and Chubb are those two guys that I just never play, even though I know I probably should. I never find myself getting them, and I don't really have a great answer why. But yeah. All right, let's pull up some of these stuff. So we're gonna go to about 12:20 today, so I can get my stuff finished built. If more people join, we get more steady flow of questions. We can kind of keep going a little bit, but we'll go to about 12:20 or so today. Evans or Godwin? I would prefer Godwin, I think. But once again, that's almost like an ownership thing of you kind of just almost got to predict who you think is going to be higher owned and just play the other guy. Jonathan Taylor. I'm not playing Jonathan Taylor. I didn't last week. It bit me in the ass. I'm sure it'll bite me in the ass again this week. I just think after last week, everyone's going to play him. I just think he's going to be way too popular. I think he's that guy, and I think he has that chance to go off every week. But at the top, I'd rather just go McCaffrey. It's tough. I mean, I wouldn't talk somebody out of playing Jonathan Taylor over McCaffrey. But my choice, I'm just personally going McCaffrey. All right. All right, let's pull up a couple of these lines. Cheapest D you go with on Fanduel. Let's pull up these Fanduel pricings, and I will tell you. I assume Jacksonville would probably be the cheapest defense on Fanduel, or at least the cheapest that I'd be playing. But let me let's see. Defense pricing on Fanduel. The Jags are priced way up on Fanduel. Fanduel's got some weird defense pricing. That's tough. You might be able to go Minnesota at 3,300. But Fanduel, these are Atlanta maybe 3,800. But that's some weird. I'd probably go. Yeah, I think you're just paying down the defense on Fanduel and just hoping it doesn't kill you, because that's some weird defense pricing on Fanduel for sure. Yeah, I think you just play Minnesota and just hope it doesn't bite you. Or maybe the Chargers. That's tough. That Fanduel defense is Fanduel defense pricing is way off, or at least way different than DraftKings, I should say. All right. Seems like it's a slow week this week. I think everyone's still kind of off from Thanksgiving. Let's get some of this up. All right. Let's go through a couple prop bets. What prop bets do you guys like today? We can go off some of them, and then I'll throw some of my ideas and my thoughts out here. Let's see. Prop bets. One of the early bets I do like that I saw, Steelers first quarter team total over a half. I like that. I think that's a good bet. Let's see. All right, a couple people started to join. I think it's just a Thanksgiving week. It's just slow. They've already had a football slate this week too, which I think changes some things. but doesn't mean we can't still give out some winners and still help those of you that are here. I wish my internet wasn't being so slow. I'm pulling up these props. There we go. Yeah, I like Brandon Cooks today. I think he'll be popular. I think he'll obviously be popular, but I like Brandon Cooks today. All right, guys, let's go about 5 more minutes unless we're going to get some people to join. If we're not, we'll just go about 5 more minutes. I can answer whatever other questions you guys have. Let's see. Let's go over what else. What other DFS questions we got? I don't see most of my normal gamblers in here, so that's why I'm not going to go over prop bets right this second. If we just got the DFS guys in here. Sorry to keep making you go. Fanduel for flex 6,800 or less. What would you choose? Cooks and have the $300 remaining. Yeah, I've seen so many stories of fried turkeys and all of that stuff burning and blowing houses up. It's crazy. We always did ours outside. That was always a precaution that we did. We just did it outside. Let's go FanDuel. What was it? 6,800 or less on FanDuel for flex. What was it? 6,800. Yes. Brandon Cooks would be the guy. I would go in that range. Yes. If you have the money to get up to 7K, I really like Keenan Allen, but if you don't, 6,800 Cooks for sure. Top QB for DK today. Jalen Hurts, he's got the highest floor. So I like Jalen, but Jalen Hurts and Justin Herbert, those are probably my top 2 DK quarterbacks. Let's see. Couple more minutes, guys. Holiday weekends and when there's London football, and those are the days that the live streams are a little slower. Herbert or Newton? I think I would go Herbert. I would go Herbert. Obviously, the pricing is a little different, but just if we're going Herbert or Newton, it's Justin Herbert for me today for sure. All right. Any final questions before we wrap this up? I know I'm helping you two out. You guys can DM me on in Discord or post in Discord or DM me on Twitter or whatever. I can still help there. "24-hour shifts." That's cheers up to you, man. I know people that do it. I could never do it. I work some 12, 15-hour shifts, and that's still way too long. But yeah, props to you, man, for being able to do that for sure. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining. There's a couple of you that did join. We're gonna get this done because nobody's it's a slow weekend. But you guys can DM me. Feel free. I'll be around. Ask me any questions. Let's have a good week, guys. Let's do this. Let's make some money today.